Hey, Bri, doesn't it suck that the boss is always over our shoulder when we're trying to talk?
Jay, he should be entertained by us. Let's get out of here and finish this conversation.
All right, as long as it's not work related.
Jay,
B.
how's it going?
I am better than you, my controlling freaking friend.
I want to welcome everyone to the work-related podcast.
We are that podcast related by work on Twitter.
On X, yes.
Oh, God. But we're still not there. I'm sorry. There's nothing. Nobody cares that I haven't been brought up on that.
Hey, this is week number 4
Of me what?
Drinking.
Yeah, we're in April now, so you got a whole month.
I'm happy. I love my beer.
Are you just realizing this now?
I love beer, man.
It's good to watch you drink beer because you said that you love it.
Yeah.
I did not mind not doing it, but like this is our thing.
Yeah.
Like when I said I might have to work overtime and not be on Fridays, you were like, but Fridays are our thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's
damn
weird how
right.
you make something your thing.
Yeah.
And it's like to let that go.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that's not your controlling freak. I'm just making a fucking comment about your new editing tools that you're having to let go. You're
We're living up.
You're throwing that out there though. That's not a that's just being controlling for controlling's sake. Like you don't control every computation your computer does,
No,
right?
but I've already gained. The computer has gained my trust.
But your trust in your blind trust in technology should lead you to not be concerned about this.
I think my blind trust is that I'm not used to something that I can't go back and fix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of get that. Like I am lost a little bit in the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like of what you're talking about. It is the mixer and the editing tools and the whole reason why I get to just walk over here and do this. And so, but it's weird to see you in this like, okay, I guess just got to let it go.
Yeah.
And like I said, you don't really do that, but you do when you don't, but you just don't realize it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like I said, that's why I just bring up the computer. Like you know how to manipulate whatever you want the computer to do, but you really don't know how the computer works like that.
Yeah.
We go to the welding machines. I fucking made a point of not complaining about it. I'm not going there. But your point is it's a newer machine. It can't be worse.
Yeah.
And that's an annoying thing to hear from somebody that's really trying to dial it in.
Yeah.
And with you, just like me, not caring about the mixer, I do, but I don't. Like you, it's like, yeah, if you're a good enough welder, you'll fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
So I recognize that, and that's why I don't want to bring it up with you anymore. The issues that I have with that is never going to come to your face.
Why
if
not?
you bring it to my face, because you don't want to hear it. You've already told me.
I do want to
Why would
hear
I?
it.
No, you don't. Did you or did you not say stop complaining about this?
No.
How dare you?
In so many words,
Yeah,
I said.
that's why I'm getting to the point.
I said, but Jay, I just want you guys and you specifically to separate which one of it is your issues and which one of it is actually the machine. And people can't do that. That's the problem.
When we will agree on that. And this is you making this longer conversation. That the fact being is that my knowledge of the older technology, and not just because it was better, because that's what we used to do. You know, I try to let that go as much as possible.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I could be better, but the issue is like looking at a better piece of like an older, better piece of technology that I still call it a Fisher Price deal because it has these auto settings.
Yeah.
The better machines don't have these auto settings.
They
Better,
all do.
Okay, better might not be the right word.
Yes.
My
all
other
do.
machine did not have an auto setting.
But that's not that's the past. That's why.
Okay, that's fine, but it's a babysitting Fisher Price type of future.
That's like saying my old cell phone didn't have a touchscreen. Why didn't you just use a regular keyboard? And now, well, no, Jay, all phones have touchscreens now. That's just the difference.
Okay, so
that's the way the industry is going.
Do you think a
towards.
touchscreen keyboard is better than the old BlackBerry keyboard?
Now I do.
Space be damned.
Now I do.
You've been programmed to think that.
Yes.
Like it was programmed to fucking get us to not care about the click. That's why they have the audible click of the button.
Yeah.
Remember the fucking piece of shit BlackBerry that had the bubble? Like there was texture to the screen.
That was great.
I know, but nobody cared.
Nobody cared.
I know, but that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was.
Because that came to our human need to like feel the button. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's actually like tactile. Like, I don't think it feels good to type on a touch screen. We just do it because they've made us.
And they
It's
made
become-
autocorrect.
Made it convenient. No, but that was with a typewriter. Like way back when, you could have a typewriter that showed you before it went on, like not the old school typewriter, like you
Yeah.
had to fucking white out or make a whole new page or all that. But then they came a typewriter that was like a smart typewriter that had like the screen that you could, oh shit, I misspelled that word. And
Yeah.
then you could go back. No. Like we're never going, that's the problem. We never go back for convenience.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's just a convenient, like touch screen is everything. I still marvel that a touch screen is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't convince me that's not alien technology.
I
Right? Like
mean,
out of nowhere.
humans are smart,
I
man.
get it. I'm not trying to make an alien conversation
Humans
here
are
like
smart.
there.
It's cool that we think that we're so smart that it has to be alien.
I get it, but
that's
we
a
still don't know how they
compliment.
build the pyramids.
No, we
you know what I mean?
don't.
Like that could be an alien technology.
No.
So we forget how we even made things in a way.
Yeah.
So that's how we don't know how like a touchscreen is made. But I'm just coming from a place where, like the old TVs. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Is
fucking.
the old TVs better than the new ones?
Of course not. There's
Okay.
nothing. There's nothing better about an old TV than a new one.
What's better that's old that's not as better as something new now?
So it's defines your definition of better. I am this is not a conversation I haven't or something that I have a real answer to. I'd have to think this out. Okay, so I think no question newer cars are better than older cars.
Yeah,
But can you replace the feeling of driving a 69 Mustang?
of course not.
Right? Like there's something there.
You know
no, you
what?
can hop
It's
in this
nostalgic.
fucking you can
It's
hop this car.
nostalgic.
No, but like the rawness. Like the safeguards are all off. It's got no power steering, no power brakes. Like it's just you in the road.
Yeah.
Like it's unsafe. It's got 100 million reasons to not do it, but it's less human. Like in the new one, the other one, you know what I mean? You could see the engineering done. You know what I mean? Like
For
you
sure.
could see
For sure.
the art in it. I'm not saying there's no art in a Tesla, but it's a raindrop. You know what I mean? Like it's a fucking.
But is it? You think a Tesla's easier to build than a?
No, I'm saying easier, bro. I'm saying it's less.
It's actually it's probably one of the good vehicular
I think it's
marvels.
less human than a 69 Mustang.
Definitely less human.
That's all. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Definitely
It's
less
less
human.
human connection. So just like a touchscreen is less human than a typewriter.
Yeah.
Or writing.
Yeah.
Right? Like we've gotten out of ourselves to get like progress. Right? Like and so I see it in those kind of ways. Like now we're far from your mixer or whatever, right? Like, but ceding that control,
Yeah.
ceding the fucking thing, getting to an automated driver is like the ultimate ceding of the control. And just like, I mean, I don't know. You're the one who wants to live in Saudi Arabia and be fucking controlled by like an entity.
I want a safe world
But yeah, whose definition? I get it. I'm just saying that, yeah, for them,
for everybody.
not for the people building the stadiums or women who can't
I
drive.
wouldn't be one of those people.
So you're
We
very
have more.
selfish.
We have more of those unfortunate people here than they do over there,
We have a lot of unfortunate people over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because we allow people to make their choices and,
and
live
we're
in
a
them.
top 10 country, right?
You know what? I'm not sure. I would like to think so,
We are for sure.
but I don't know exactly.
we're top 3 on the list for happiest places.
I don't know about
we're,
3.
We're pretty.
We're for people to come here because of the allowance to allow them to do what they want to do instead of being told what they have to do.
Fair, but this is a desirable country. Otherwise, healthcare wise, job wise, there's jobs here. North America in general, other than Mexico, North America. In
So why is
general,
Mexico so fucked?
Because they're more third worldish.
Yes, and
They're vacation destinations, right?
yeah, but they aren't just that. That's what we think of them as.
They aren't just that, but there's a reason they're going across the border, right?
Exactly.
Nobody's leaving here to go other places in masses.
That's what I'm saying. So how does it get to that point? Like, how does Mexico get out of that situation?
Have you ever met somebody from Saudi Arabia?
No, I really have not.
Because they're not leaving their country because it's great over there, right?
Or is it because they're not allowed to leave?
They are. It's not like North Korea. You're allowed to leave,
Yeah,
right?
if you're success. I don't know. My perception is that the have and have-nots are even more separated there. Like you're
I
right.
don't know.
You think I'm wrong with that.
I think you're wrong. I think they are too wealthy of a country, and communist countries don't usually have that bad. Like their have-nots aren't that far from their haves.
but
And
bro,
they're
they're
very
so
communist.
controlled.
I know.
They can't do anything.
It's a trade-off, right?
But that's so. How would you want that existence?
But they can do stuff. They just can't do certain stuff.
You-
China is like, okay, we're talking like there's like there's grades. China
Yes.
isn't North
You're right.
Korea,
You're right.
right? North Korea is like you can't even say You can't even not have a picture of Mr. Jong-un in your house type of a thing.
Yes,
China's
I
not
get it.
like that, right?
I get it. I'm putting that thought on the thought of China.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it like you can't be a millionaire in China without the government allowing you to be a
for
millionaire.
sure. They own everything.
Okay, but you want to be like you have aspiration. I'm not. So how would you, an entrepreneurial type of person, want people limiting you? You just don't think it would happen to you. You would think you'd be the other.
No, I think like if I was to go there and say I was going to become a successful businessman, and the government they have to own part of almost everything, right? And so, for sure, if that's your laws and whatever, as long as I'm not doing anything nefarious to these guys, and they're not saying, okay, make sure these guys are wearing chains, I'd be like, okay, that's fucked up. But they're not. They're just saying you do by what laws that we have, which are what you can hire children.
Right up your alley again.
I hire my exactly. I'm like, what is the problem? What do you
So again, yes. So why can't I go there right now? So
exactly.
I'm not trying to change your mind on that. Like I get it if you're just responsible enough and you're doing it. I don't know how this ties into it, and then I didn't expect that because I don't have the full explanation of this statement I'm saying. But I told you about something I saw online that Saskatchewan RCMPs are going to give breathalyzers to every person they pull over.
That's ridiculous.
What's the difference between that level of control and the control you're willing to give like the government of China?
Because the standard here is not that.
But how do they move that standard? Like I get it.
Go to a different country.
But they're doing it for safety or whatever. I don't like it either. Because I don't want somebody to have that kind of control over me. Not because I want to drive drunk.
I don't even care about the control. Yeah, the control part definitely is part of it. But like now you're gonna waste my time. Like I told you, you need to have evidence because I'm trying to go home and go do my podcast. I'm not trying to sit on the side of the road and do breathalyzers with you. Like I don't have time for that shit.
So how is that level control? How do you not see that superseded when you're a millionaire making $1 million business deals and say, I know what I'm doing. You're gonna come in here and tell me what I have to do because you're the government?
Because they would want me to be successful, and what I want to do is be successful.
I think they just want to know what you're doing.
They want
and
money.
want a piece of it when it becomes successful.
They want money. That's all. That's really what they want. They want money and information. And if you want to know, this is why a lot of tech companies don't operate in China, right? It's starting to come like that now.
Yes.
But like, I'll give you.
I like it too.
People hate when I talk about Apple, but I have to because they're one of the biggest companies. And they didn't go in China for that reason for the longest time. There was no iPhones in China because China's policy is if you operate in China, they have to have access to all your servers. And you have to have servers in China. You can't do like what we do here where you have servers some parts of the world, some here, whatever. You have to have it in China. So they resisted that for so long. They since changed because obviously there's iPhones in China now. They have a server in there. You have to do it. They succumb to it, but this is why you can't Google in China.
Yeah.
Right? Because they just didn't want to give them access to their servers. So a lot of companies do that, and that's what China does. They just want access and they want some sort of control over it.
I think it's detrimental to somebody like who is an entrepreneur who wants to succeed without that level of governance over them.
Yeah, but Apple made way more money.
Okay, so I get it,
So-
but why is it changing now? It's changing now because the public has had in a way we've ignored it for so long, right? Like it's not
Yeah.
just like this TikTok ban and these other things which are fucking ridiculous. Like I'll get there in a second, but I'm just saying it's ridiculous because yes, you can unintroduce something that's been introduced, but like you can't feed us something and then take it away. Like I get that choice now.
Yeah.
I get the choice. It exists, and I don't want a entity. I don't want a big brother fucking telling me how I should act, other than being civilized.
Well, it depends on which side of the line you're on. If you're on the side of the line where you think China is accessing all this stuff and spying on us, then you wouldn't want that stuff, right? If you're on the line of China is doing the opposite, then
I know nobody thinks that.
care. You won't really care. This is why the Huawei failed, because Huawei made a lot of modems and stuff for our country, and they just said, okay, well, you're a Chinese company, we don't trust you, so you must be taking some of our information. So now all your contracts are gone. Now you can only.
So this is
operate
what
in
I want.
China.
This is how
Is that
I
a
want.
good thing or a bad
This
thing?
is a great thing.
So, but what if they're not really? What
But-
if they're not looking? Well, I mean,
Okay, so yes, this is what the problem is. I don't trust the U.S. government telling me that the Huawei thing is that. I don't
Exactly.
trust them because they're telling me not to trust the China one.
Yeah.
I live here. I understand what that Chinese threat is.
Yeah.
I do. Uneducated. Everything I fucking say here is uneducated. Is my thing is that it's overblown. I think China, way before I was born, like that's when they started arising. You never hear fucking starving children in China anymore.
Yeah.
Eat your fucking broccoli because of starving children in China. They used to tell us that.
Yeah.
And now you realize the society is trying to build itself up. We kind of see it with Saudi Arabia and all that, but they have so much money to start with.
Oh, yeah.
China had nothing to start with.
Yeah.
And so they came in this People's Republic. You watch movies about rebellions and you go, yeah, like go the rebels. And you see this. So this is the other side of that story. This is when now the People's Republic of China, but the people have no say. It's a
Yeah.
fucking handful of people. But that's ignoring that it might be going on here as well, right? But so I think the Huawei threat isn't as blown up as they say it is.
for sure.
I love that that people are pulling out of China for the reason that maybe it is. Like just not that we all have to be kumbaya, but just like no, your government controls it. We don't run companies like that.
Yeah.
And so for a while we needed them. Our politicians failed us by putting too much power in their hands.
So you're a Trump supporter.
This sounds very Trumpy. Yes.
Yes.
No, but the rest of them are doing it too. The fucking Democrats, the liberals, all of them.
Only
have
because
all
of one
their,
person.
All of their companies. Yes. No, he's the voice of it for a certain amount of pop. That's why he becomes popular because
Yeah.
the rest use their business interests to hide behind this thought.
Yep,
Trump.
I agree.
Trump is the kind of person that because his ego is so large, he knows whatever enemies he's making just as many friends. He
Mm-hmm.
recognizes that. He burns bridges more than other politicians have ever done before.
Yep.
And he also came in it with he had no fucking past politician bridges. He was just a fucking guy who would build buildings and not pay the people to build them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
he's an asshole and he's a fucking con man.
Yeah.
He is the biggest con of them all.
For sure.
But the refreshing nature of how he's saying what we wanted, like people want to hear him say. This China thing isn't just like we had to work with China to get them to do what we wanted so people can make more money. Not you and I, so we can get flat screens for fucking $200.
Yeah.
We all love flat screens for $200. Until we've had flat screens for $200 for 20 years, and then we'll go, hey, what's the cost of this?
Yeah.
Like, what's the problem? Like, why is everything over there? Why can't I do this? Why? And so now there has to be a reversal. You have to be aware of what's going on. So the fact they're pulling out of there to make them like, I hate when Apple secedes to their ideas. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but the thought of it.
I think it makes sense. It's 1 billion people.
I get it. It's no, like to go in there. Or when the NBA fucking cowtail, like the don't talk about Taiwan. Like I hate that. That's the
that's
least
stupid.
amount of free press I can think
That's
of.
stupid.
Okay, but it's all for
go
money.
There, but go there and play.
But it's all for
don't-
money.
But don't like you. Could, that's my issue. Like I don't care. Like I mean, maybe this is bad, but exploiting China to get more money from them because you're a business, you want to go there and operate there. I don't really care about that, really.
I understand.
But when they go to you and you say, oh, well, I can't say anything bad about this place or I can't say anything bad about that place because I'm here, that's when I'm just like, okay, that's retarded.
Okay, I agree. So this is how we
Can I say
make them
retarded?
realize that. What?
Can I say retarded?
You can edit it out.
Oh, yeah,
we're not
that's
allowed.
true.
We're not. Maybe you're that. So what happens when you're woke? Your mixer returns woke,
Yeah.
and every time you say retarded, it fucking doesn't
I'm
say
never
it.
buying another mixer from this one. That's
Yeah,
it.
but then you can't get on Apple now because you
That's
said
okay.
retarded too much.
Worth
If
it.
we were successful,
we
like-
can't say retarded.
that's what I mean. Like you, but you also almost have to say it. You know what I mean? Like you have to recognize why you don't want to say it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're not saying it for those reasons. Like I don't even want to get into that. But I'm just gonna get back to
Okay,
this
go
other-
back
to
to
this other
China,
fucking
go back.
topics. This is where we're getting at. Like we're fine with that word, but then we're like also like, yeah, you get to criticize the government. You get to we have no idea. It's a theory to live in a land where you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's like you could go all the way to the extreme of North Korea and say you have to have a picture of this guy, you have to pretend you're crying and all that fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
I still don't know how much propaganda that is.
Oh,
you know,
man.
right? Like it's all so China wants to be us.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not I think they want to be us and not just like everybody wants to control everybody. I recognize that. I don't think they want to take over the world. I think they're in the middle of trying to be like a superpower.
Yeah.
Like just like our company like grounding. Like this is some of the growing pains. And so, but if everybody pulls out, they're going to retract some of their thoughts. Like I've read this the last couple of weeks and all this shit. Like it depends if you believe it or not. Like I don't even know who's like where the source was, but they're way behind on AI technology than the States are. Like I would have thought that was different.
Nope.
Right? So that is one of the bigger concerns now. Like whoever gets that might get this or that. The fact that they are still behind on that shows me they're more third worldish than I think they might be most of the time.
The problem is that the technological powers are here. Like the Apples, the Googles, the Teslas, the
head offices are here.
The Intels, but they are American companies,
Yes.
right? The Intels, like all these companies who are pushing AI and technology now. China was always manufacturing, like a leader in manufacturing, right?
That's a good distinction.
But in terms of like advancement, technological advancement, it's really the United States.
So I look at it, you're right, because when there's a definite technician like that, that's why I think that the head offices of the corporations are Western, and then that's why I think it's a travesty that they make the manufacturing there just to make more money for the board, just to get a bigger yacht. Like they could have always stayed here. Like you can never have, like Detroit should never have failed. Right? Like they failed it for money. Right? Like and now they have to try to bring it back, and human ingenuity and resilience will do it. In a free society, we want to make Detroit better again. Not government. We want they should help it. You know what I mean? Like they should put their money there instead of Ukraine and all these other things that I might agree with at times. But it's also like it's just more like this naturally going to fail and succeed, not with the hand of a government, whoever that government might be. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just a handful of people making that decision. And we already know when it comes to TV shows and other things like that. If we don't make diversity a thing, then it's just a fucking 4 white guys making us what we all get to watch. Right? And without advancing that, so now I fucking think China is those 4 white guys. They're not, obviously they're Chinese, but you know what I mean? Like there might be hardly any women's voice in there. When I think of the Saudi Arabia, I'm not the fucking like libtard standing up for fucking women here, but this is like, there's no woman's voice in the Saudi Arabia story. There's none of that. And so I find that's not human. That's just a way to get something done because that's how we've done it since fucking we were throwing rocks. And so without them having to force their society to change in a way, Saudi Arabia only lets women drive for the last couple of years because of the pressure of Western world.
Not because they wanted to.
Not because they want to, because they want to be part of it. They're not in F1 or golf just to make money, because they are trying to wash their blood money, which we all are living on blood money. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying we're better than them in that, but we have been, you know what I mean? Like for the last little bit. So that's why it looks so obvious. Oh my God, their blood money, they're ruining golf or F1. But if you're an F1 fan, they're enhancing F1.
For
right?
sure.
They want to be a part of the world through F1. And now they're trying to do it with tennis and doing all that. So you see it, you can mock it, or I think it's just going to make them more of a freer society.
I agree.
And so China's lagging behind them because they don't have the Saudi Arabian money. And so you take their manufacturing away or whatever they're doing now.
You kill the country, man.
No, they'll just figure out, they'll become more Western. I don't think they're going to, my personal opinion is they will blossom into more of a West, that's a lack of a better word.
No, how can you blossom without the funding? Like that is like their biggest export is manufacturing, right?
True, but I don't think, but they're not going to cut off their nose to spite their face. Nobody's, like they're just saying this is why we're leaving. You can change that. If they want to be stubborn, if I want to be stubborn and not build fire trucks, or if I want to be stubborn and not do this or that, then I am going to lose. You know what I mean? Like I have to be willing to change. We talk about change all the time. China's just like me. You know what I mean? They might not want to change, but that's not giving them the credit because maybe they already have. You know what I mean? Like it's a narrative. But we go to this overall like narrative. Like I think they will become more Western in a way that you could say Saudi's more Western. And I'm not saying the Western is the only way to be, but that's what we like. That's who we are. That's what, you know what I mean? Like we want, I think it's just being part of the world society. So I see that like that I'm taking, I don't think it's going to make China more insular. I think it's a way. So this spying shit and doing all that, like, I don't know to what like the ends that people think they are. I
don't know. I just assume every country spying on every country.
Do you think, is it a good thing that Huawei phones failed?
No, it's a bad thing.
Why?
Huawei was the number one phone manufacturer in the world for a few years until the Donald Trump administration.
But I heard. Okay, yeah.
They were selling the most phones every year.
So do you think there was anything behind that they were nefarious, or
Yeah, I think it was. I don't. Oh, well, I mean, you don't really know. They used Android, but it wasn't. It was open source, so they could do what they want realistically. But could you put it? The problem is that you can't put it past them. You can't say no. They probably you can't. They don't have reasonable doubt.
I'm more
That's the problem.
I'm more concerned about the Western world collecting my data than China collecting my data.
Are you though? Because the Western world is collecting your data for two things: to protect the country, the Western world, or money. Two things
That's all China's doing it for too.
No, they're collecting
money, not the
data
West.
to attack the Western world
Attack.
or maybe defend themselves.
How that word the attack? No, I've not been attacked. Nobody's been attacked
Sony's been attacked.
by hackers, not by China.
Sony's not even a Chinese.
Those are fucking. Those are
It's not even
individuals.
an American company.
But those are individual. So that's what I'm saying. That's not a Chinese problem.
Or we don't know, like we don't know the amount of things that's been going on, right? We don't know the stuff that's been going, like what hacks have happened that are undercover, what thing. Because there's no doubt in my mind that there's Russian and Chinese spies
Sure.
in this continent.
Of
Like there's
course.
no doubt.
Because we have them there too.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I get it.
So for them to take it to a level where you're affecting consumers, because like I've had a Huawei phone in the past. Selena's had a Huawei phone. I know almost everybody I've known has had a Huawei phone in the past, and now that's not an option at all.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit to the free market. Like I really don't feel the pain, but
No.
as a thing, I find that the creating the enemy
Yes.
is something we do.
Yeah,
Like we always have to have an enemy.
yeah.
And Russia's not like it's gone, but it's not the enemy it was before you
No.
were born.
No,
And so now it's like this China threat. And it's like, I think it's just the fear of the unknown because we don't know exactly what their motives are. But in my mind, like that's why I'm trying to bring up the Saudi Arabia thing. I think their motives are just to be a bigger player in the world circuit.
it's looking like that.
And they're going that way. But yeah, like I don't have that kind of problem with it. You know what I mean? Like I just don't like the way they get there is by having control of the people more, right? Like I don't know. I just don't see. I just don't think banning anything is the issue. Like I just think like fucking like, but not knowing like the story behind whatever could be spying on something or doing like that. Like this whole banning of TikTok is like it just seems to me that they're scared they don't have control of everything they usually have control over.
Yeah.
So in me as the consumer, and I'm not even on TikTok, me as a consumer, I know my shit's getting collected anyway.
Yeah.
You're just worried about who's collecting it.
Yeah.
And I think it's all just for money. I don't think it's a security. I don't think it's as security as they want me to think it is. I think it's so they can put more money in their pockets, whoever
I
they
can
are.
agree with that. What social media company is not American or Canadian?
It's I guess Spotify's not a social media company. That's fucking music. I mean, YouTube, is that American now? That's Google, right?
Google, yeah, it's Google.
Like Twitter has always been Google. Facebook's always been Google.
American,
So then,
Instagram.
so how do? Okay, I don't want to jump off that point from China and all that. So school boards suing those companies
Yeah,
is ridiculous. Like, so they're just trying to do what America's doing to China to these West. Like, it's West on West crime,
yeah.
right? Like, and I mean, it's a longer conversation, but that's just like banning it isn't the fucking issue. Like,
You
I don't think
so? Like banning it outright, putting an age limit, nothing.
it's hard. No, I think it. As age limit as like TV shows are age limited, right? Like, I don't want Invincible to not be on air.
Yeah,
Right? But it'd be fucked up if your 6-year-old loved Invincible.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Right? You would have to realize that he's missing a lot of the fucking the finer points of the show.
yeah.
You'd be even more concerned with does he loves the fucking swearing and does he love the blood? Does he love the violence? Like, okay, well, I mean, what when am I going to introduce my son to this violent world? If you tell him it's not violent until he's 18, he's fucked.
Well, yeah.
Right? Like
True.
when does he have to know it's a violent world? When does he get to hear the word fuck? You might have a different opinion than your neighbor.
Yeah,
That's your choice. You don't want your neighbor telling you, hey, you can't say that word in your house.
that's true.
Right? So bring that along. Hey, you can't have this fucking pretty girl dancing on fucking your thing. You know what I mean? Like, well, who says, well, I want to watch her. Maybe it's age inappropriate, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But then your kid, it's like, you know what? So I think banning it is not the answer. Like, recognize that's something that a lot of us want to do. Like, this is where it comes to the alcohol. Like, don't ban alcohol sales at soccer stadiums. Just fucking arrest the rowdies that go there.
Mhm.
Just banning it assumes we're all criminals.
Yeah, true.
And so banning this shit.
But for children, they are all social media criminals.
Who? The children or the fucking
Yeah.
people manipulating the social media?
The children.
The children are, the innocent one. The children get to inherit the fucked up world that we give them every time.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's ever as bad as we kind of think it is.
No, we lose sight of the fact that they adapt pretty quickly.
But they've known nothing else or.
Yeah.
Like, try to convince your son that there was a wall between East Germany and West Germany. You know what I mean? Like, he can see it as a game move and all that, but real, like, they're German. They're
Yeah.
the same people. Wait,
Yeah.
really? Like, communism, like, they won't understand because it's not natural. And so you have to force feed them on, no, this is how the world works. No, you can't use a Huawei, but no, it's got, no,
Yeah.
bad Huawei.
Yeah.
Good Apple, bad Huawei.
Yeah.
Well, I read some bad Apple. Boo, boo. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
don't you say that.
you know what I mean? But then you come along and go, yeah, fuck back, you know, get on fucking Google. And then so you become a team member. But you have that choice. You don't have the fucking thing. So banning
We
stuff
don't have that choice because they're both American and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
in this spying type of way. It matters as a consumer. It matters
Does
as,
it?
how do you mean? You love one more than the other.
That's just a preference. I recognize that both of them are just good.
And most people do, but like you still get your choice. You still like you
Yeah.
don't ban the fucking thing you don't like.
That's true. But you ban the thing that's harmful, and social media is harmful. It's for sure. I definitely say that social media is harmful. 100%.
I can't. Of course, but the world is harmful. I think it's as harmful as the world. I think it's as
Yes.
harmful as your kid going to school, being taught by somebody you don't know who they are, with whatever fucking political agenda they might
Don't
have.
get me started on school. I think school's archaic.
Okay, so but you still take them there.
Yeah,
Don't
we-
ban fucking school because it's so
mean-
fucking in there.
You can though.
But
you can
people keep their
homeschool.
and I have a fucking certain feeling about people that do that.
Me too.
And so, but some of it I get. Some of it I get. But I'm also a fucking old man realizing the more important part is socializing. The more important part is being able to have a conversation about something with somebody else.
Yeah.
A stranger even better than a friend. Like just being a human in the human race.
Yep.
Not being a rat in the fucking rat race.
Yep.
And so we can distill it down to that. So you're right. But social media is the thing is because we want it so bad. You won't even know, like long distance phone calls used to cost $1 billion each
Oh,
call.
yeah. I remember
and
that.
the world became so large because my mom couldn't talk to her parents in England like once every other week.
Yeah, same thing with my mom in Jamaica. Like she wasn't able to talk to like her cousins, her aunts and uncles.
Who
and stuff
benefited
like
from that? Nobody.
Nobody.
So now the world opens up and technology comes better and it becomes nothing to call Jamaica. It becomes
yeah.
nothing to call fucking
The internet came around.
right.
and
And,
you're
so
like,
is the
well-
internet bad?
Yes.
It's good and bad.
yeah.
Right? It's just like life.
Yeah.
Just like everything else.
It's just the people. It's the people. And people unfortunately have a habit of preying on,
the innocent.
The innocent. So and that's our children.
Yeah.
And this is why ban may be a strong word, but limits, social media definitely should be limited. In my opinion, I think it should be limited to a lot. Like the boys are on this Facebook like kid messenger, which is extremely limited, and that's the kind of thing that I'm for.
I agree. No, I'm not saying wide open. I'm not saying I want your kids to have access to stuff. What I'm saying though is just like, what I'm trying to say is like something is
Yeah.
jumping off what you said. Is like by banning it, you can't monitor what they're eventually going to do.
That's true.
Right? Like
What do you-
cigarette, like alcohol and cigarettes were banned for you. Okay, never mind cigarettes. Alcohol was banned to you till 19. Did you wait till 19 to have your first drink?
Fuck no.
So do you think your kids are going to
Grade
fucking
9, baby. Drunk at school, man.
Yeah, so nobody's gonna want to, other than you right now, like glorify that. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, but we all did it.
Oh, yeah. It
Like
was
some
one
of
the
us
best things
did,
ever.
maybe didn't, but most
And
of us
then
did.
I remember I promised myself I'm never drinking again.
Yeah. Now you just told me how great fucking beer tastes after we had a fucking $120 fucking shot of tequila downstairs.
Right?
And so, yes, like this is all I'm saying is I want the choice to be out there as an adult. Not kids be damned, but fucking monitor your kids.
So where do you put the irresponsible kids, like the kids who are just gonna not use it in a way that's you know,
I'd rather find out about who those kids are now than when they're fucking 25.
fair.
I would rather
That's
know
fair.
that my kid is fucking hanging around with a person that has that kind of influence on them.
Mm-hmm.
I got into a lot of trouble as a kid. Each time my parents said, "Oh, you can't hang out with those people anymore."
Did you?
Yes, of course I did. Until I stopped. Until, you know what? They made it a little bit harder and a little bit harder. And then eventually I kind of saw my parents' point. And in the schoolyard society, I'm a bitch for listening to my parents like that.
Yeah.
But in a human part, I recognized it. And I didn't want to become that path. You can have your dad tell you so much, not be a fucking degenerate. Like, you don't want to be like this. Don't be wanting to go to jail. Like, look at it. Do you want to beat up old ladies? Like, you're going to victim everybody? Like, you know what I mean? This is the path. You might not see it now. Oh, I'm just going to pick on this or that. But you're going down a road where you're just treating everybody as a victim for you because you're stronger or whatever. You can get one over them. And so it was my parents' job to fucking put that into me. If I failed and became a serial killer or a fucking in jail now, they could look at themselves like, we failed him. Yeah. I could be in jail and saying, I failed myself, and I could be a bit whine about my parents and this and that. There might be a little bit of truth in there, but it's my responsibility. They showed me. The thing, if they just pretend it wasn't there, if they just say they hid it from me the whole way and just say, like, well, that's not the same example because I was already doing things. I was already being influenced. Not in that's my social media was in real life. Like, we've created this, when it comes to the internet, it changed everything.
Yep.
And so the kids today, we can say, oh, they don't go out and play because we don't let them go out and play. And they can get their human contact through their games and through their social media. And so by banning it, we don't know exactly how much we're limiting their growth. And so my parents could monitor who my friends were up to a point. If I kept saying, oh, yeah, I went to Jimmy's. Ah, fuck. You're not supposed to go to Jimmy's. You know, what are you doing? Whatever. And then I could run away from home, all these other things, whatever you want to say. But now, by banning it, I don't know how they get around with it with fucking burner accounts or with something like that. But the more you don't let them know how much you know about their things, you get to see everything.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you get to see, hey, this guy's giving you a request. Like, has this guy given you a request before? Like, you don't want them to be 15 brand new to this with all with all the people there.
True.
Right? Like, you should be fucking thankful that you're so technology savvy, that you and Selena are so young that you get it. You don't really know what you don't get, and your kids are so young now. You'd fucked with, you know what I mean, your older daughter because she knows a little bit more than you might know, and it's really hard to rein that in.
Yeah.
And she's not here.
More than me.
The whole baby mama thing.
She doesn't know more than me, Jay. Come on.
But these kids still respect you. These kids still want to, you know what I mean, impress you.
The other kid just wants money.
Right? Because their threats are idle to her.
Yeah.
Right? Your threats are just, this guy's going to eventually stop talking and I'll figure it out. Okay, fine. Take my fucking Facebook away.
Block my computer.
You don't think I can get on some other way?
Yeah, no, I can block her computer now.
Yeah, but she gets a computer from school.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right? She gets on her friend's phone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying things you don't already know. You just kind of have to, fuck, I did my best. You just have to hope she, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want her to be in a situation, go, God, I wish I listened to my dad. You kind of want that because then you get to be right. But you don't want her to be like in a no-win situation like that.
No, but like you said, your parents made it harder for you. I just make it harder for them. And that hopefully will get to the lesson that you learned. Like, it gets harder and harder, and then eventually you're just like, shit, whatever.
So, but okay. So I don't know how you do that in a World Wide Web world.
You can monitor, you can block the parents have a lot of that's one thing that has come a long way, especially in the past 3-4 years, parental tools. And because now we're living in a world where you have to have a certain account, you have to have a Google account, you have to have like, who doesn't have a Gmail, who doesn't have a Facebook or Instagram, right? If you have these things early, you control their kids' stuff, right? If you wait, like you're saying, you wait till they're 15, that's stupid because you wait till they're 15 and be like, okay, yeah, 15, now they can have it when they don't need your parental control. They don't need to ask you how to do this or can they do this or what does this mean or whatever. They don't need that. They're already ahead of the game and they're gone. They're free. So yeah, I think that having now all the parental controls that we have now is the way to go. I think my issue is to the Ontario School Board and how they're suing. They're suing because they say they're distracting students and ruining high school students mainly. Social media is distracting them and all this kind of stuff. And that's of the age where you basically have lost your control of internet and social media and all that stuff over your kid, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I recognize that. So I think it's one of the most retarded things I've ever heard in my life that the fucking school boards want to.
What the fuck?
So you think that too?
I think I get what they're trying to do, but like it's like
I don't even. I can't even imagine they would say it publicly.
Why? Yeah, like it's like this was your only option. There's
very
so
lazy.
many other options.
Joe, do you realize that over 500 school boards in the States have already done this?
Really?
Like it's all in process. Nothing has come to court. This is where the Ontario School Board got their idea from, right? Like it was. I was blown away by it when I heard it. Like early, I don't know how long it's going for, but
a lawsuit?
like a week ago or so, whatever. It's like suing this. So,
what happened to collaboration?
well, this is my point. Like this, I don't know. I don't know if this is, speaks to a different thing. But like I said, like banning it is just like you're just admitting that you don't know how to fucking proceed from this point on.
Which is why schools are archaic.
This is where. So this is they're showing their cards by doing this. Mm-hmm. Like the fact that they can't whatever they don't have these control over the kids like they want because and they're blaming this. They're just looking for a blame for something that they became archaic, like you said. They've never had this control. They didn't have this control over you.
Yeah.
They fucking barely had it over fucking me. Mm-hmm. Like I still weld because of my school. You know what I mean? Like they helped me do what I wanted to do, but I kind of knew what I wanted to do. The world that your kids are inheriting now is a little bit more complicated. Or it's just we're more aware of how complicated it is. And so I don't want your kids to not be aware of that. I wish the schools were better at helping them navigate through the social media. By them banning it, they're becoming on the other side. They're becoming like they're against the kids.
Why not have a social media class?
Bang.
Math,
Bang.
social media.
Fucking get rid of fucking French. You could go learn French if you want to.
No way. You got to keep that.
Okay, well, that's fine. You're right. So I'm in the wrong house for that.
Get rid of.
No, you can't do that.
Come on, Jay. What are you talking about?
Get rid of what?
Social studies. Or put
this is what it is.
Or put it into social studies.
There you go.
Right? There should like some sort of basic etiquette. And
so out of the boards that are doing in Ontario and the 500 that are done in the States, what are the ones that didn't go to this measure doing? Like somebody's doing this like better.
There has to be.
Right? And so there's a better way. This is like the lowest common denominator default thing to do.
Yeah, let's sue.
Blaming somebody else for something this is almost like me blaming the welder.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's like I can do the job better. It's great when other people fucking start using it and have my same problems.
Yeah. But
I have to default to you and just like, I don't know what you want me to tell. This is the future. This is the way we're going to go.
Yeah.
We can't, your welder is old and fucking, your machine, I am an old welder too, but your machine is old and we can't, like, we need to have more uniformity. Whatever it is, we have a contract. We need to get like leasing instead of fucking buying. So we have to uniform it all up. We asked everybody's, this is the one we picked. Okay, I get that you have a problem, but now what do we do? Now what do we do? We're not scrapping this idea. This is the new world we're living in. So just learn how to fucking deal with it better. And part of it is, like, I'm not living in the overpromise of that machine. I'll never say that the machine wasn't still overpromised.
Yep.
But I just, you know what? Like,
but was it?
Yes, because it gets, I'm not.
Was it, Jay?
Yes, because it gets
How was it overproduced?
When it gets hot and it changes how it operates.
Yeah, that's annoying.
But that's how it doesn't work the same. The other one never got as hot because there wasn't as many components in one little fucking box. So I can weld on my other one all day and it stays at the settings I do.
Yeah.
This new machine, fucking I weld for fucking 5 minutes and it's changed because the whole thing is hot to touch. And now, so I wait for fucking 10 minutes. And now everything takes longer.
Yeah.
Or I fucking I time myself differently. I weld enough here and I go maybe do something else. Oh, my welds are the machine's getting hot. I could tell because the weld's going off. It took me forever to realize that was a problem. Right? First I changed this number to 10, that number to 20, all that other bullshit. I fucking didn't want to talk about this. And so I get to it and then I realize hey, why is it changing? And then we get to this thing. Is it a grander scheme? Is it the power of the building? Is it the gas?
Which I
maybe
still
a part,
think is
maybe
a
a part.
thing.
Yes, okay. But it wasn't an issue with the other ones. So now it's an issue with this. Okay, instead of fucking condemning the whole project, which got to be annoying for you because it sounded like everything was just a condemnation of the whole fucking thing, right? And just like, and
Well, it's like China. You don't know if are you really doing this because the welder's bad, or are you really doing this because you miss your old welder?
part of that, but also you felt a responsibility because everybody else had their voice, but you were a stamper on this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, yes, do it. And now you're like, fuck, what did I do? You know what I mean? Like, I want to
Yeah.
make sure you're always confident in your decision, but then fucking 3 weeks of people fucking questioning your decision made you question your decision yourself.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
To a certain
yeah.
extent, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Because some people still got to use it beforehand and said, "Yeah, okay, this is good." But that's just the nuance of everything.
this is the nuance of this one little particular situation.
Yeah.
And I, other than this fucking last 10 minutes, I was refusing to bring it up in that certain way again because
bad.
it is what it is.
We got to bring it up.
No, but I've not brought it up to you anymore like that.
I know.
I've done it. I've fucking either been happy with someone else, not with others.
Yeah.
And I've just gotten over it. Like I've just taken less ownership of how that works. And I've made it work for myself. I'm building a whole new different thing with a whole new different, it's been an adjustment period. And so that adjustment period has been very present and like contained to me and my bay and then what I'm building. And then, well, the example with this whole worldwide thing is just like, yes, we're not insular. Like you and I didn't have to give a fuck about Saudi Arabia or China or whatever that, but now it's a worldwide thought.
Mhm.
And so it sucks that your kids are involved in this and whatever, these other relations, but that's a reality. And so by banning something, by doing that, you're denying reality in a way. I'm denying the reality of this is my new welder when I go on that road.
Yeah.
And I've changed my mind. Like that's not how I think about it anymore.
It's not how you think, or it's not how you say.
It's both. It's not how I can't think it anymore.
Yep.
Tell me how many times for you personally, right? Like I do it, that I don't say what I think
Me?
to you. Like how many times do you think, like you say, that's what I think or that's what I say? I am saying it because that's the company line,
Yeah. A
but
lot.
part of it's my problem too,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm a fool if I say it's just the welder. Like I have to learn how to adjust the welder. Like it's not, when Marcel starts using it and going, what the fuck is wrong with this? It's like, finally. The
Yeah.
only thing is like, I feel heard.
Yeah.
Right? Like I just like, now we can proceed. If you just keep telling me it's my problem, then I start to just say what you want to hear.
But that's we're gonna go off on a tangent. That's just the issue. It's just that, Marcel says, "Oh, well, what the fuck is wrong with this welder?" Yes, but what I've noticed, it's not a blanket statement. It's not every single welder. It's just this welder. Because then when he uses another one, he's like, this one works beautifully. But everybody wants to say, well, all these welders. It could be just an issue with one. It could be just an issue with a plug. It could be just an issue with gas. It could be anything.
True.
But people automatically say, well, this is the newest thing. So, hey, all of it's wrong.
Yeah, I get it. I'm
And I know it makes you feel heard, but is your welder that bad?
only compared to my old one. It's not compared to the one I used in fucking the year you were born.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not. Like
Yeah.
I hope you know, I know I come across as this person that doesn't sit on that archaic thought for that long.
Yeah, I know.
And in that same vein, if social media and TikTok and fucking Facebook, if that's the way to go, like I still don't have Facebook or Instagram, right? But Have I not? I was on Facebook today. Tammy shared something with me that was fucking like nice and cute animal wise. Fucking love her fucking feed. Like way better than my fucking feed. And it's just like, yeah, I recognize Facebook as a thing.
Yeah.
She talks to my fucking stepmom in Scotland like every once in a while through Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that never fucking happened anymore. Like your kids will never understand like this long distance phone call thing we ever heard before.
Nope.
Like without this progress.
Will they understand phone calls?
Exactly. See? Like there we go. Our cat hates when the fucking house phone rings.
You have a house phone?
Yeah, that's what I mean. We got a lot of cord cutting to do still.
Jay,
I haven't
what
done
the
any
hell?
of that. I still like yes, we still have a fucking house phone, and our one cat jumps on the fucking counter whenever it fucking rings.
Wait. I have questions.
Okay.
Your house phone rings? Wait, do you use this
No,
thing?
I haven't picked up my house phone for 10 years.
Okay, is it corded or is it cordless?
No, cordless.
It's cordless?
Yeah,
Is
cordless.
it like
Corded.
is it on the wall? I don't know, man.
I lived with fucking old people. I'm old people, but I'm still in that past.
Like it doesn't. Okay.
Right? Yes. Like we still have a home phone that we haven't disconnected because her dad still liked the home phone.
So he used it.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
Did he have a cell phone?
Yes. He has no data on his cell phone.
What?
Yes.
How do you survive?
He's fucking barely is, but he's has nothing to do with his cell phone. But yeah, that thought there. Like you go to that. He's just like, you know what I mean? Like
Oh god.
you could have a fucking 1955 diet.
Yeah.
Or you could listen to the fucking diets that people do now.
Yeah.
And some of it is people taking advantage of you and manipulating you, knowing it's a thing that people are looking for help on.
Yeah.
Or you can find the fucking David Goggins of the world or the other people that actually have it.
Yeah.
If you ban all of social media, then nobody sees fucking David Goggins,
That's true.
right? I want a world where he's in there.
I
You can
agree.
say all the bullshit about Joe Rogan, but Joe Rogan and the people that have come on his show have made, you know, me better.
Mm-hmm.
I can listen to ones I want or don't. I don't fucking. He's not a deity to me. I recognize the faults in everybody. That's because I've recognized my own faults and I see it. It's not been ignored to me. If you banning shit, like it's like banning books.
Yeah.
Like it's just know the book is there. Know the Nazi game is there. Like I want to know who's doing it, not to do anything to them, just to recognize. That's how I understand who those people are.
Yeah.
And I like you talked about the parental controls. That is what I think should be talked about. I think it's maybe in a way the school boards trying to fucking yell at the parents by fucking doing this. Like are
It
they saying
seems
you
so.
let your kids go nuts on these social media apps?
I think there's I think they're really trying to do that. I think but they just can't blame parents, right?
So
they
that's
blame
bullshit too.
So they blame the social media companies instead. So yeah, I think
I
they're
put the
doing
blame on
it,
the parents.
but I put the blame on the schools. Like I said, I
Okay,
think it's
I'll take that.
I think it's very I think they're holding on to a way of teaching that just doesn't work as effective as it used to.
Remember when Ismera went to the school
The
here
new school.
and you didn't rail. I'll give you a lot of credit. You said it in a little bit of a confusing way, like,
Yeah.
oh, why do they do it like this? Sorry, you never said why. You just said they are doing like this.
Mhm.
And I think you gave them the grace, at least they're trying something different. Or I'd rather hear them doing it not the old way,
Yeah.
right? Like that's what I got out of that conversation.
Yeah.
Or when we talked about, I was like, oh, at least they're figuring out a way to do something different. It's like when the first time you hear about the Google head offices and they got foosball tables and fucking all that, like
You're like,
furthest
huh?
thing they'll ever have at our office,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But then our office has fucking play dates at fucking Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
Or they do, so they have to fucking put that in there.
They have to do something.
Like John
right?
Dick would fucking roll over in his grave. He's not in yet.
Like,
to
what the
fucking
hell?
like,
What do you
what
mean
do you do?
Dave
I'm
and
paying
Buster's?
everybody to go to the arcade. No, it's team building. He just rolls his eyes, fucking forgets. You know what I mean? Like wishes it was back in the day
Yeah.
because he was the king back in the day and he knew nothing got by him. Now everything is a little bit, you know what I mean? He has to cede that control, just like you're ceding the control of the technology, right? Like it's just like it's better. You didn't pay all that money for that thing to fucking get it. You made it because it's how we, you know what I mean? You expand as the Heartless Studios.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it. I wish like I said, I don't want your kids seeing something before they do, but we've talked about Grand Theft Auto and I see your kids watching Grand Theft Auto. I don't know if
Yeah.
they've played Grand Theft Auto.
No.
Like so what's the thought of that? Like What do you think of somebody that doesn't want their kid knowing about Grand Theft Auto till they're like 12? Or arbitrary age? What would you put in age?
I don't know. I think that
Like, how much does Grand Theft Auto represent society?
the actual game,
Or what people like to do in the game?
it's different now because now it's all modded, right? People are doing all these other weird ass shit in the game that I consider weird ass shit, like freaking making freaking Hot Wheels
Not
tracks
go
and
to that.
stuff.
Let's just go to the
Like,
basic old
that's
school
what-
game.
They don't watch that. Like I don't even know if anybody really knows what the main Grand Theft
That's
Auto is
hilarious.
anymore because it's just so far removed now.
They're just looking at a modded universe.
Yeah, that's basically for the kids. They think Grand Theft Auto is a place where you can do anything.
It's like Sim City.
Yes, it's like or Roblox.
Yeah.
It's like Roblox. They can just do anything. Oh yeah, Kai will say, "Did you see this guy on Grand Theft Auto? He drove his car all the way up a building and they went to the moon." And I was like, "I wasn't doing that in Grand Theft Auto." I was
Okay. So
You know?
so this is what the fear is. Our fear before, like, because that's a different world now where everybody's modding it, like you said, right? But that's because we've allowed it to fucking happen. What if we banned Grand Theft Auto?
It would never be what it is today. It would
And-
never be the icon it is today.
And the icon that it is today has nothing to do with fucking killing hookers.
Nothing.
I mean,
it started with stealing cars and killing hookers, and now
Some people still like that part. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean,
it's there. It's a game.
It's not fun to get a refund. It is fun to get a.
She's not real. But you know what I mean? Like, but the thought is like, I can't introduce that to my kids.
Yeah.
Same with fucking like banning social media to me is like banning rap or banning rock and roll.
Yeah.
Like, good luck. Like, they tried it. The Rolling Stones were the fucking second coming of the devil. You fucking laugh at, like, your kids could care less about the
Yeah.
Rolling Stones.
Yeah. What's the Rolling Stones? They're like.
You know what I mean? Like, whatever. And you hear the songs and go, oh, well, it's just a poet. It's a poem, right? It's just a thought. You know what I mean? It's not real life.
Mhm.
It's a human emotion, all these things, sadness, fucking murder, whatever. It's just like in a song.
And they're not even the worst.
But they were to fucking somebody in
Which
1962.
is insane. Which is insane.
This is the progress. So that's how I see it. Same with fucking rap. Like, I saw it all. Like, the banning of fucking satanic music. It just made you want to listen to more satanic music. Banning fucking Two Live Crew. The second you fucking knew, I'm fucking getting the next Two Live fucking Crew album. And it's not that they didn't have a point. Like, hey, man, this is the kind of disturbing to hear. But you can't deny it that some people find this as an entertaining story. There was no victim if you just think it's a story. There was no sexism if you just think it's a fucking story. Or it's just how sometimes people fucking act or talk or fucking whatever. I want to watch fucking Grand Theft Auto movie.
Yeah.
Or it's so banning Two Live Crew or banning fucking Rolling Stones or Black Sabbath or any of those things
Yeah.
was never the answer.
Yeah, I agree.
So I find social media is exactly the same way. We don't like the influence that rock and roll and rap. Some people didn't like the influence that rock and roll and rap had on fucking people. They were the wrong ones.
Yeah, turned out.
I find I find the same thing with this social media thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it's
I
like
think
a new
you're right.
version of, like, the influence is this, like, what we thought the influence of,
The
like,
internet.
our media. But that was media.
Yeah.
Now the internet is such a thing. Like, we can't live without it. So banning it is like making, like, it's just, I don't know. It's just knocking us back a bit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I think it's just like lazy. So I don't know. I'm very happy that I don't have to really worry about it.
Yeah.
You might have more of a spiritual influence on me than you might think. Not that I'm fucking going to church or doing anything like that, but just recognizing that it's not as bleak, or it's good to believe in stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not, and faith, right? Like, not just blind faith, or maybe all faith is blind faith or something like that, but I don't want to be your friend and be that cynical on that situation. I want to recognize where you're coming from, and I know you recognize my thoughts, but just whatever, right? And so,
You're going to church?
no. But I mean, with Cat Williams, you know what I mean? Like, when he says something to me, and just like, oh, like, how can you say there's no creator when just everything mixes? Like, the cow's stomach couldn't work if it didn't eat this grass. You can't make that with a snap of the finger. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, this grand design, going through all that shit. It just makes me think, like, and I'm butchering the thought, but just like, not just you, other people say it, just like, I can't rest on that laurel. You know what I mean? Like, maybe what I come to is this: I hate organized religion.
Yeah.
I hate how man may manipulate our desire for spirituality.
Yep.
And I just, it's a random, it doesn't get me up in the morning. It doesn't fucking make me go to work or exercise or all those other things. So I don't put that kind of importance in. I kind of have a reluctance to put too much importance on that. But that's my own personal thought.
Mhm.
I don't want to be forced to have to go to church or convert to a way of fucking thinking. Like when we go to these other countries and all that, like that, I get kind of out of that. But I thought of this week because you have these thoughts, but you don't go to church. You know, I mean, you have your own feelings on religion, like organized religion,
Yeah.
and what it does. But you also got a lot out of it. We talked about you were like an organizer, like a youth kind of, and you were in the playing drums, doing choir shit.
Yep.
Like it informed a lot of your youth,
Yeah.
right? And
For
showed you
sure.
who you are. But you don't take your kids to church.
No.
Was that like a conscious decision? Like, and not putting Selena's business. Did Selena like come from a religious family like you?
I don't think she came. I don't think her family is as religious as mine.
Yeah.
But they're Catholics. They're typical Catholics.
Oh,
right?
that's right. Yeah.
So it's like, they still go to church. I think they probably still go to church now.
Yeah. But she doesn't.
No.
Did she abandon that? Like, was she allowed to stop? I'm sorry.
Well, I don't think her
matter.
parents went to church, right? I don't think her mom went to church. I think
Okay.
it was mostly like her aunts and stuff.
Okay.
So
It was
whenever
in the
she
family.
so whenever she was there, that's when she would go to church type of stuff. I don't think it was really pushed on her from her mom and dad type of a thing.
Did you ever think of like giving your kids the church experience that you got?
No, because I don't want to do it.
Why?
I'm just over it. I'm just over the fact of manipulation. I think humans have too much ill intent for me to be able to trust humans blindly. Like I'd rather just do it on my own, like read it on my own and have my own understanding.
It's beautiful, man.
Especially after I've already grown up into it and I already have a base of understanding where I can formulate my own thoughts. That's my whole thought on the whole thing.
So you don't think that they might be missing something that you got out of it? Like, 'cause
Absolutely.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
it's not like
sure.
a 100% thing that you know you're right. I do
No.
think you are. I think you are 100% right.
Yeah.
I do also think that there might be something missing,
Yeah.
but I don't love that. So I like that you recognize you don't want them manipulated by whatever,
Even though they're in Catholic school, there's a little bit of manipulation there. But I think the things they're missing out of it is more of like societal things, like how to come together and how to work with other people and like just basic how to treat people. Right. I think I'm the person I am because I went to church for so long. It just made me who I am. It just the amount of people you have to interact with, the amount of things you have to accomplish, like to accomplish things as a group, whether it's 20 people, 10 people, or 100 people, it takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of moving parts to do, especially in a church when a lot of stuff is volunteered. You're not paid to do it, and everybody's volunteering for this one common goal. It makes you learn a lot of things that you can take with you in life.
that's a great point. I recognize that. I see that the value of that. We're a lot different, but maybe you recognize I'm not as much of a team player.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's
I don't
just
know
because
if-
I went to church or
I
not.
don't know if that's just because there's other ways to learn these things.
Like, I think somebody could be just like me and gone to church.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
I think you also recognize I can have some of those same qualities without
Absolutely,
getting it.
for
I think
sure.
it comes back down to parental controls. You recognize that. Even the fact that go to Catholic church is a testament to you wanting them to have some of this in their life. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, you're not just abandoning it. You're just like, okay, that's my wife. You know what I mean? Like the whole French thing, like it is what it is. Knowing that you might be able to tease some of your ideas into them, right?
Yeah.
And you're also a person that, as much as a control freak as you are, what comes to mind for me, your wife and your kids, is like you don't control people's thoughts.
No.
You like the, you know what I mean? Pretend you control people and be in a minute, but it's a good quality that you have. Like is that you don't control to that point. You let them be who they are. And I don't know how you do that without giving them all the knowledge that you want to give them. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a very delicate balance of not thinking that you're perfect or a parent thinking they're perfect and making my kid be exactly like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like having Brian Jr. and then Brian the third.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I hate that like ideal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then Yeah.
To continue you forever?
Yeah.
That's-
See,
that's-
you're opposite of that.
You must think you're perfect.
See, that exactly.
It's
You
like,
know that's not the
holy.
way, right? Like so it comes at like I don't know when you'll ever. You say it when you tell me some stories of what the kids say. It's like I never would have thought that, or how are they thinking about that, or taking the fucking race car to the moon in fucking like Grand Theft Auto. Like
Yeah.
you would miss out on that if you just didn't allow them to explore that fucking type of way.
Yeah.
But like I said, back in the day, some people wouldn't like let their kids touch the fucking Grand Theft Auto because there's actually people with guns.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna deny the world has guns, and it's like, well, maybe like if they're 6.
Well, no. We're gonna deny like that they use guns. So you're gonna tell people that they're not allowed to use guns. What if they join the military? What if they join the police? What if they join the police department?
Or no, but like yeah, I mean, I'm just saying like
That's how people are.
so I like that fact that you do that, and then they see it, and then you just if you see your kid. All they do is fucking run people over in Grand Theft Auto. Then you need to have a conversation.
Oh, for sure.
Right? But you want to know
Listen.
that.
Yeah. Listen, so we've had some concerns.
Right? But that's where I think you nailed it with the parental control. And I think that's where it comes down to with the fucking banning of the thing. Like you can't ban. You try to ban something from a teenager, they're just going to find another way
They're
to
gonna
get
find
it.
a way. Like obviously you can ban it at a certain point, of course. When it gets
What
to a
like
certain,
you can't drink until you're 19.
yeah.
I couldn't smoke weed really
Like-
until
like-
fucking 8 years ago.
Like if the kids come home and they say they got in a car accident, all their friends, they went drinking with all their friends. I'm like, bro, you're not drinking.
I get it.
You're not responsible enough to drink, so that's done.
I get it.
type
And they
of
go.
thing. But like in other terms of like parental controls, it's better. It's better because like the thing is, like you said, you never would have thought of that. And I always use this example of the whole Bill Gates example. His parents were just like, you know what? Yep, go to the school. I can get you access to a computer. Go ahead. You go to the school, you go to the computers. I think his dad was like knew people in the school, so he obviously had access to computers back then. And look what he created, Microsoft. Like, you know what I mean? We are already jaded because of how we were brought up. It's so hard for us to come out of our mindset and innovate. That's what the future is for. Look how much innovation came out in the past 15 years.
That's interesting.
And that's why you cannot limit. And I said this on the other show that Daryl, he was like, yeah, I don't let my kid use an iPad or anything at all. And I'm like, well, that's a disservice because that's the future. You don't understand it because you want them to live like how you were brought up. But the world has gone past you already. It's already past you. And these are the kids that are coming up now. Now it's still, I get it, but it's still hard for me to wrap around that these streamers, 19, 20-year-old streamers are making tens of millions of dollars, right? Because they were able to identify a certain thing that I would have never have thought about doing.
Yeah.
And that's the future. Not necessarily that thing, but the future of them figuring out new ways to do new things. You got to give them that opportunity at least.
That's a great way to put it. They give them the opportunity and the word innovation.
Yeah.
Like that's the key. Like you want your kids just to have that spark.
Yeah.
Like the desire to do whatever they have to do or do, but like just like holding on to their imagination and I'm tying that in with innovation too because I agree. Like denying your kids Grand Theft Auto stops them from that's just all entertainment value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like watching something do that. Denying them the physical use of a fucking iPad again is stunting them. It's denying, like it's going too far, right? I might be ignorant on like the what could be done with the social media and exactly how much influence it is, but I just think that it's hard. Like we let the floodgates open, and I think it's just more of we're confronted with what society really is than just being able to close our doors and hide from it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that's I mean, we all, not other than you, we all want our kids just to stay the same. You know what I mean? Like, just like fucking this innocent little fucking thing, 6-year-old, don't ever get out of this. You know, you say the cutest thing, all that shit. Don't ever grow up and be jaded.
Yeah.
But that's again, it's never, like, it's stupid. You can't think like that, right? So denying the iPad is just, I get more of a kick when a kid touches your big screen and doesn't really, like, why is this not like an iPad?
How do you turn this on?
Exactly. Like that's them like living in the future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're back in the past. So I agree with you that I'm not putting my fucking business in Daryl's business or my nose in Daryl's business, but I see that your example of that. I see that. I also see it in a way, just to try to jump off this thing, is just like you've not put them out there, but you've started doing little mini podcasts with the kids,
Yeah.
right? Like
It's a secret, Jay.
well, not anymore. Right? You can cut this part out with your new fancy thing. Nobody here that's going to listen to this all this way through is going to not like this idea. Not to manipulate your kids, not to exploit your kids, like whatever. Fucking, I don't know who out there wants to do that, but the fact that I love about
people in China.
Okay, well, you found a reason not to do that. I found a reason to do because not to make your kids podcasters or streamers, but just to allow them to know that this is a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Like not to know because it is the future. My dad could have fucking put a welding gun in my hand when I was fucking 6. Go, you know what? You're gonna fucking. This is a good trait for you. Or Bill Gates' dad. Here's a computer.
Yeah.
Fucking like, what can you do with this? I had a computer. I just didn't care so much. It was kind of already a thing. Just wanted for games. Wasn't very interested at home. Had no parents that were really interested in that kind of thing. Had parents that were just like very old school, like fucking hating how the world was changing. And I had to figure it out on my own without their help. By you doing this, you're helping them. You're allowing them to control their social media.
Yep.
You're giving them a message that they can't control who sees it, but then they get to interact with whoever wants to interact with them. Without all that other shit, what I like about it is you get to fucking figure out what your kids are thinking without you actually asking them what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because you just think of the typical thing was, how was your day at school? Fine. What did you learn? Same. You know what I mean? Yeah. And realize you're fucking texting your friends everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have all these other things you don't want to share with your parents. And I'm putting myself in there, like, you just don't because you're your parents.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But now you're finding an avenue. No. Like, no, this is your show. Like, you got to fucking write down things that happened to you during the week. Like, you can't be lazy like Jay and just fucking pop in there after a shot of tequila and just ramble on. Like, if you want to make it better, what was interesting at school today? Or what was interesting at school, and let's go talk about it.
Well, it's funny because the kids do a daily journal, right? They have like a 3.
Whose idea was that?
Kai's therapist
Nice.
told him to do that, and now it's just translated to both kids, right?
Nice.
So they do a daily journal. It's like things like what made you happy today, like blah 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 blah. It's only like 3 things, and so some of the things are hilarious actually.
Of course they will be.
But like it's the same way. It's getting them to think in a different way, and like I like that idea. I'm gonna be like listen, like throughout your week when you do your journals, you can even bring your journals up to remind you. Be like, hey, you can talk about this stuff, right?
Yes.
We can have conversations about this stuff and things like that. Maybe it'll be serious, maybe it won't. That'll all be good. I think it's a
I like
idea,
it not
Jay.
for you to expand your fucking thing here, but
No.
you got more fucking equipment now. You got the fucking studio. Like, it's a natural
I
thing.
gotta get a better ROI right now.
No, I think you have, like, bro, I'm not even going to talk about the fucking, you want to knock down the reggae radio thing. You're an idiot for knocking it down. You can be
I'm
like,
not hyped about it like that.
that's fine, but it's not nothing. It might not be as big as I might want you to be, but it's a step up. It's a more exposure. It's a thing that is, like I said, like it's I do this more for me than anybody else, and I like what I get out of it by you just involving your kids in it. First of all, you get the fucking have those conversations, find out what they're really thinking, allow them to be able to express it instead of just regress into who they are.
Yeah.
And if they ever get an inkling of positive reinforcement from other kids and they get their whole community is going to be on social media. And there'll be some bad with it, but the world is their oyster.
Yeah.
They're fucking good. Like, because of what you're offering them, because you're in this technology world, you do this already for 2 podcasts, you have this fucking thing, you can show them in different ways. Like I said, selfishly, you get to show them, hey, share your thoughts with me. Of course, it's going to be hard not to judge them, but if you want to get out of them more, you just like, instead of judging them, you just say, oh, this is what I think about that, or this is what I think about that, oh, that's interesting, oh, do you want to do that more, do you want to do that less? It's a further example of just not making your kid play soccer or fucking not bat. You know what I mean? Like, giving them more, allowing them to express their thoughts or realizing how to express their thoughts. Like, I wasn't this vocal, you know what I mean? Before you, it took a long time for me to like. Even my reputation at work now isn't as what it was 5 years ago, right? Your new fucks at work can come and talk to me more than other people might wanted to before.
And they will talk to you more
Why?
because you're coming on night shift.
No, I didn't put that.
Yes.
No, I'm not. So you were fucking. I didn't even write that down. Bro, I am not gonna come on night shift.
Oh my God, Jay.
You were so sad when I fucking told you that. When my beautiful wife heard that I might have to cancel the pod so I could work on Fridays, she was more upset than you were even. Because, you know, she wants to hear my thoughts. This is like her fucking listen to my journal. No, she's like, she sees how broken down I am when I come home, right? She sees like me trying to do my exercise. She saw the fucking handsome doctor show me the x-ray. And then she's like, sees how much, you know, hurt I can really be. And then it came to our fucking budgeting talk and figuring out a way to get more money. And like, yeah, like working Fridays might be a way. And then, unfortunately, she listens to you too much more than she should, really. You just kept putting these numbers out there of how much more money I could make at night. Mm-hmm. And then, so in a pure money sense, she was like, well, I would rather you work nights to get that more money than working an extra day during the week. Mm-hmm. And then, funny enough, all I really need to do is hear her say she wouldn't have a problem with me doing it.
For you to choose not to do it.
So for me to choose not to do it.
What the fuck, Jay?
Well, I always had my own reservations.
Yeah.
I'm not putting it on her. I'm putting it on me. My life would be less full. My life would just be all work and no home life. I would not see my wife. Yeah. She would have to be all on her own, dealing with all the fucking shit that we're dealing with.
4 days a week.
And it's too much, Brian. It's too much. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying I can't do that to her. I can't do that to me. I would be fucking worried sick about her when I was at work. I would miss her. I would have too much of you.
Wait, what?
I would have fucking too much of you. I fucking hardly get anything done from fucking whenever you come to talk to me. Like, my production would go down so much if I got to just fucking ramble with you. Like, you can't even come to talk to me now until all your responsibilities are done till like close to 6, and you have to fucking get over there and make me stay late and all that shit. Right? Like, you fucking get off on that. But if that was gone and we could just talk, like, it would fucking ruin. Like, so obviously I would enjoy that. That'd be fine. So, but my work would suffer, but my home life would just be archaic. Like, she's even considered, like, she should not change her job. She can make more money doing something else, but she's been there for over 20 years. Mm. She's very comfortable there. Like, she has that. Like, I don't want to make that be. Like, I can't, like, do that. But she's heard it enough. She saw me stuff. She's like, okay, so you could do that. I wasn't even going to let you know because I knew the pressure you might put on me afterwards would be, it wouldn't work. It would just be annoying to hear it.
Man, well, I guess I'm just going to annoy you for the next couple of weeks.
Fuck, same old, same old.
Wait, what?
But, like, so, yeah, so, like, I've wanted to do it for so bad. I did want it to work way back.
Yeah.
And part of me would still want to do it. So there's the part that my whole life would suffer, and it sounds like I just don't want to do that to her, but I just don't want to do that to myself. It works for you in a lot of other different ways. Like, you're on the rise and you would have that, but Selena works from home. Yeah. And you get up early. Yeah. Right? Like, I would not be getting up early. I would be fucking, and like, we would just be ships passing in the night. Yeah. And I just don't want that.
I get that.
And I can't do that. And so we'll have to figure it out. If I have to come to a situation where I need more money, like, it might be there. And it was great to hear her say. And like I said, as a fucking as my wife, hearing her say this, you're gonna suffer in a more physical way if you do that. Like, I get you're gonna fucking tough it out and work more, but you barely get off the chair now. Yeah. Right? Like, she's getting out of my own way. You know what I mean? Like, me letting me get out of my way for, like, saying that. So I loved hearing her, like, say that. It was out of the blue. She didn't say that for me to love her more or whatever. It was just like, oh, that's exactly what I want you to say. You know what I mean? I don't want you to say, even if you're feeling it, I don't want you to say, oh, I can't have you work nights because I'd miss you and we wouldn't be the money. Like, it's true and it's all that, but just like, now you're influencing my decision. Yeah. By you saying, sure, I get it, I wouldn't like it, but you can go do that now. Now I'm like, okay, do I really want to? You know what I mean? Now it's me. Do. Now it's me making my decision.
Yes, you do want to.
Part of me does. I get you, bro. I do. But now, I don't want to talk. Well, it's funny. I talk about me all the
Tell
time.
Tammy to come work here. She can come on afternoon shift too. That's be the win-win.
Tammy would. I'm never working with my wife.
Why?
Because
Why, Jay?
Work home balance. Work home balance, bro. She fucking gets horrified about how I fucking talk about work or even act.
Oh, imagine being there.
Like, could you
Oh
imagine
my
the way that she saw
God.
me? So,
Oh, no.
I don't want any of that shit. So I can't help you out anymore. So we're fucking. I have no cord cutting costs. I have nothing. I haven't changed anything. Oh, okay. So, I have been doing decently with taking better physical care of myself. I'm changing the subject real quick here. And I was on a roll for a few weeks. I was doing good. Easter killed me.
Oh, me too.
I didn't have any chocolate, but I had a fucking great Easter dinner.
Oh man.
I'd fucking I chopped it up with fucking mac and cheese and fucking gravy and fucking all the shit. But I'm still, I'm just a few pounds under what I started, but it's very frustrating because it's been like 5 weeks of trying and it's not gotten there yet.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of myself of still trying.
Yeah.
The problem is, Easter aside, like you've probably heard this term, I'm an emotional eater. Right? Like, I get emotional if you tell me I can't eat what I want. And so I get there. So I've been trying real good. I had fast food yesterday, and I didn't
was
really
it?
have to. So great.
What'd you
I
get?
feel it. I had Harvey's, a double Harv burger,
Man.
and I had a whole
get
salad,
Harvey's
but I had a
today.
couple of her frings after.
Oh,
Did you get Harvey's? When I told you what I was getting?
Today's my eating out day. I didn't do it yesterday, but today.
Lucky wife.
Yeah.
So the fact that I just realized that we had a rough week, and I just didn't want to go home and have fucking chicken again.
What's wrong with chicken?
Nothing. I have it all the fucking time,
What
bro.
about why don't you get a fried chicken burger?
Okay, I'm gonna have a fucking hamburger if I'm gonna have that kind of calories.
Oh yeah, I mean.
Like if the chicken is the fucking roast rotisserie chicken I have at home.
Yeah.
Like I'm not expanding my chicken empire, but but I realized I was that. So
Whatever
it's been tough.
happened to KFC on the barbecue?
It's fucking winter still, bro. It's snowing outside right now. And I need a new my budget won't allow me to have a new barbecue. Exactly. Nothing has happened to the fucking chicken. Oh my God. KFC on the barbecue. Yeah. I just fucking
You're
I just
welcome.
gained a pound just fucking thinking about that right now. So that's been kind of hard, but
Yeah, my Easter was bad. I ate so much candy, man. I haven't had candy in so long. Like I've had this little sugar-free shit here and there. But man, when you get the real thing, when you get the freaking Lindt chocolate and the Kinder eggs and the Jolly Rancher gummies and the Skittles and the Starburst, that weekend was ruined for me, Jay. I can't tell you how much. I even said to Selena at one point, I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm having a sugar rush right now because this is insane.
it's crazy how you fool yourself into thinking those sugar-free candies are this.
Oh,
and that.
man.
Then you get the real deal.
Oh.
Like I told you, chips have always been my downfall, and so I just okay, maybe I'll put some in there and I'll fucking do this and that. Same with the fast food, I'll try to do my best. Then gets to a point go fuck yourself. I'm going to go grab a burger, right? And then but I worked out today to try to mitigate it. Like it is a long process. I really don't know if I'm going to get to my goals, right? Like it's been a while. Like I'm without like Goggins level of effort.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it's very hard for me to maintain that kind of fucking effort the whole way.
Yeah.
But just like other things we talk about all the time, like it's kind of picking and choosing your battles. So what I haven't done, and this again, I should give myself more props than this than I kind of do is like, I've budgeted my weed.
What?
Like I fucking smoke no
So I
fancy
know there
joints.
was talks about it.
Well, I told you how much extra money I spend on fucking the fancy joints.
Yeah.
And instead of the $80 ounces, and there's so many other ways I could go about it.
Okay, so this week you've budgeted?
So last week was my pay week, and I bought my limit, like, because you're only allowed from the dispensaries like 30 grams.
Yeah.
So in the infused pre-rolls, I have that nailed to exactly 30.
Per purchase, though.
Yes, you can walk out, but I'm trying to limit myself too. Yes, I know.
I know.
Just like your kids on TikTok, I know how to fucking circumnavigate the fucking rules, bro. That's not a fucking. Go ahead and make your rules. We can figure that out. Some dispensaries don't even make me walk out and come back in. Say, oh, it's me. Go ahead. We can get you out because I have my limit, and then I go buy my wife fucking $12 worth of edibles, and it's over the limit.
Yeah.
And so some places make you go out and come back in. Some places just say, I know who you are. You know who me. You know, whatever. It's all good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Reg. So we, so last week I bought my allotment. What I usually get, what I've been getting every week, plus maybe something extra.
So you buy your week's worth in one day, or you?
So this is my new thought. So before,
Okay.
I would wait till the weekend,
Yeah.
and I would buy my limits of fucking pre-rolls. It would be like, it'd be like 17 joints for $120. They were fucking they're like 45%. Like it's, you know, obviously it's not the cheapest option, but this is what I loved.
Yeah.
I loved it. And I would throw regular joints in there every now and then, and all the other edibles.
it's not the same?
That's not even my edibles. What do you mean? No, the other joints, no, they're not. But it's a good tie-in. Like I said, once you get hooked on these things, you think you need them. So I talked to you about the budgeting. I thought about it before. So last week, I got my allotment. I got paid. I got fucking $120 worth of fucking weed. I might have even had an extra fucking Easter Bunny present in there for a while. And then boom, I had it there. And so I start smoking. I'm like, fucking, okay, well, if you want to stay true to your word, you have to make this last for 2 weeks, not just 1 week. You promised yourself you wouldn't go to Harvey's anymore. So, and with that, also this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I fucking bankrolled. I fucked off on the Harvey's thing, but I didn't smoke it. I'm not going to buy any more joints until next Friday.
Damn. So
So
how are you
I
gonna,
still have a bunch at home.
So you budget like 2 a day type of a thing, 1 a day, 1 and a
So
half.
my point was that for the week I smoked one. So Monday was a holiday for me, so I did whatever I want. So never mind that. So Tuesday, I just smoked straight up weed, like maybe one joint after I came home from work. Wednesday, I smoked one joint, like just a regular weed after my workout. Everything. I hardly have any time, so it's just not that big of a deal. Just like smoke a joint. It's just like, oh, I see that 45% or fucking cherry one over there. But oh, whatever. It's all good. It's so good. It's still fucking way better than it was when I was 16. Right? I got to remind myself that. And then Thursday came, and then I was just like, okay, it's the kind of weekend. So I had a fancy one with my Harveys, and then a regular one afterwards.
Yeah.
So now I probably have. So out of the 17 that I bought last week, I probably have 8 maybe left.
How do you get through the weekend?
So I have a nice fancy one, and then I smoke just a regular shitty one.
Yeah, but then you had to get through Saturday, Sunday. You're gonna smoke when you go home,
Yeah.
and then how do you get through the rest of the week? You're gonna have one day where you won't be able to smoke, isn't there?
But I have regular weed to smoke. I'm just talking about fancy joints now.
Oh, you have 17 fancy.
I have
joints.
17 fancy joints
Oh.
plus 85 regular joints.
Holy shit!
No,
I
no,
thought you just had
No, 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 no,
17
no, 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 no.
joints.
No. I'm not budgeting
God.
weed out of my life.
shit.
I'm budgeting fancy weed out of my life.
85.
No, bro. I'm making a fucking fancy number.
I know.
So today, because
man.
so today I already smoked a fancy joint. My goal today is probably smoke one more fancy joint, and then maybe 2 or 3 other joints.
Yeah.
I'll wake up tomorrow and try to get away with one, maybe. So for the rest of the weekend, I can do maybe 2 of those a day, and fancy joints.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. I don't know. I thought it was like, I'm like, how the hell is he gonna do 17? He just told me he just did 2 yesterday. Like, what the fuck? is
No.
going on?
You get what I'm saying now.
I get what you're saying now. It
Like,
makes
I'm-
sense. Yeah.
A better person would just buy $80 ounces.
Yeah. Wait, your fancy joints, are they pre-rolled?
Yes.
And the regular ones is not pre-rolled.
I can buy an ounce
buy
for
a
$80,
whole ounce.
or I could buy 3 45% joints for $25.
I see. So you're buying an ounce and then your pre-rolls.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
But for a long time,
You were buying only pre-rolls.
only pre-rolls.
Oh, wow.
I would buy $120 every week of 17 pre-rolls.
Wow.
Right? Like there's a fucking vast difference between what you can get for $120, and some of it is an ounce with change. Some of it, you know what I mean? Like, but once you get hooked, once I get hooked on the fancy joints, you think that's all there is.
Yeah.
And so we went to her uncle's for Easter, and normally I would just bring a fucking pack of pre-rolls, like from the fucking store, right? Just like whatever. But I brought my own rolls, right? It's just a way, you know what I mean? Like just to fucking save myself, not because I
Yeah.
didn't want to, but I still got high, still got, everything was
Yeah,
all
for
good.
sure.
It's just that, so
And there's a vibe. That makes a difference.
yeah, it was all, no, you're true. Like I'm overextending what I really need. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm just gilding the fucking, like the process there. Like I'm just like, I don't need all those kind of fancy joints. I can get away with that. So I'm hanging my hat on that. That's hard for me to do. Like it's a hard habit to break. It's not
Oh,
like I'm
yeah.
not smoking as many joints as I want. Just like you can smoke some of these other ones. You don't need 45% joints to your face that night. It's the same thing with the vape. Like I miss it every now and then. I know, but not really.
Oh yeah,
and not,
he's still off the vape.
not for money. Like the vape money is very insignificant.
Yeah.
It's the health part.
Yeah.
So every time I go to Harvey's now, I think, don't beat yourself up so much, bro. You don't vape anymore.
You can have it. Yeah.
You don't vape anymore. I'm going to save some TV talk so you can get out of here for your heart out. I don't know what else you got.
Nothing. I was just gonna bring up TV, but other than that,
I mean, I just don't want to fucking. We finally watched so Tammy likes Blown Away.
beautiful.
I still actually think it might be in the same shop.
Is it?
Yeah, because they.
Well,
they
then
took-
it must be in Hamilton the whole time.
Yeah, it might be because for sure it's in Hamilton
I
now.
know for sure it's in
Okay, so I'm
Hamilton.
going to give you that they might have changed.
Yeah.
And they can make the showcase look the same and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
I fucking forgot how artsy I love these fucking people.
Oh man.
So I've only watched the first two, right? So you've watched them all now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to spoil her, but not that people care now. But bro, the fucking dude who made you probably know who win. I don't even want to look at you. But the dude who fucking made the baseball bat in the first episode, he had a baseball bat hitting a baseball, knocking the stuffing out of the baseball.
Yeah.
I didn't even
He's
realize.
like the bigger, taller dude, right?
I didn't even realize that was stuffing out of the baseball.
I liked that guy.
That was so fucking great. And then the second one came, and then Buddy said he was going to build a welding mask. And I go, oh, I bet you this was what fucking keyed Brian. It was an all right welding mask. I wish he made it
wasn't that
better.
great, yeah.
But it was fucking cool how he fucking put the fucking glow in the dark glass in there.
Yep. Selena's favorite person was the lady, the teacher lady.
The older lady?
The older lady.
The fucking Mother
She's
Nature lady?
really good.
So
She's
I already
really
know now.
good.
See, I wish I didn't bring this up now because she almost should have been kicked out of episode 2.
Yeah,
She
got
made that
close.
fucking tree and she almost should, but you know that the judge respects her, like her lifetime of glass blowing or whatever.
Like some of the shit, like the animal, if she, no, I don't want to spoil it.
Yep.
The animal shit she does, man, I'm just like, holy, like they look really good.
Yeah.
My favorite person, I won't say, and I'm gonna have to try not to say until you finish. My favorite person won. So that's all I gotta say.
All right. See, I wish I never brought it up. I'll forget about you in a minute. So,
But one thing I do want to say
please.
is this is probably one of my, I don't know if you're gonna feel the same, but the final challenge for the two people is probably one of my favorite ones for the few seasons. I was just like, yeah, okay.
it's weird how it's fucking so artsy. Like it's got both. It's got all the balance. Like I recognize why people like this show.
Yeah.
What I loved when I'm watching the second episode is they had to do things that they thought they were going to do when they were a kid. The judge wanted to be a welder. The guy who made a fucking thing wanted to be a fucking welder. And you recognize, I think that's the draw for us. Like the
Status,
heat, the
bro.
fire.
Status, bro.
You're not in India, buddy. Apparently
No.
not in India.
No,
So shout out to all our
status.
Indian fucking welders out there. But,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
hold your head up high. We
Yeah.
fucking hold you in high respect.
That's right.
That's hilarious, bro.
Well, I want to thank you guys for listening to the Work-Related Podcast
We are that abandoned work related on Twitter.
on X. So Jay's going to get tweeting after this.
So says Brian.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.